In the small school community, we only interact and see the people that we know very well, but during the outreach program we are exposed to different ethnicities, values, and cultures. Do you respect each individual at the placements equally? I always take in consideration that I am in an hospital environment with many of the patients who are senile, who have post-traumatic stress disorder, physical impairments. Therefore, when I go into the environment, I expect that they may not have patience or may use foul language towards me, but I don't take it personally. Not too often we think about our identity and who we really are. Explain how volunteering makes you appreciate being a WIC student and a Canadian citizen. I often talk to the veterans about their experience in the Second World War. Some have told me about the atrocities that they saw on the battleground, and many told me about their accomplishments. For example, a man showed me a World War II book with his picture in it. In fact, whenever I am told a good story, I write it down in a book I have at home. It really amazes me to see these heroes in their wheelchairs and with canes, and to know that they defended our country so that I could live freely. At the young age of 16, exploring the world through a child's eyes is different than an adult. As a volunteer at a young age, what is the toughest challenge for you? Each veteran's story fascinates me, and I try my best to get everyone's experience in the war, but nevertheless, it is often difficult to talk to some of the elderly who have Alzheimer's or who have trouble speaking. And sometimes I'm able to hear what I want to hear, and sometimes they give me short answers that are not what I wanted to hear. It is, however, an honor to talk to them. Not being in the same position as these people in need, how have these placements made you think differently about the world we live in? The outreach program has made me realize that our veterans should get the help that they need. I was given a documentary series called No Price Too High by an older volunteer at the hospital. In fact, at the end of each episode it says, No Price Too High is dedicated to the generation that met the challenges of World War II, in particular those who fought and those who died. We shall remember them. Without a doubt, these people deserve the most respect in our country. Do you feel that the elderly appreciate the fact that you volunteer to help them? Explain. I do feel the elderly appreciate the fact I volunteer. On one of my first placements before my outreach partner and I were leaving, and an older volunteer told us that when he helps out, he adds a few days to these veterans' lives. He then mentioned that when young students volunteer, it adds years to their lives. I quickly understood. When I enter the building with Theo, the veterans immediately smile when they see us. Many of them recognize us and tell us they are excited to come to the event we are working at. In fact, whenever we leave, the elderly held out their hands to shake with a smile on their face. One volunteer in particular insists I come to his room every week to say hello. Have you noticed a change in behavior in yourself since you started the outreach program? Why do you think that this occurred? Without a doubt, I have had noticed a change in my approach to the elderly. I used to be inhibited and felt that old people were scary and unapproachable. Furthermore, I never had the courage to talk to a veteran who fought in war because I always thought I was just a kid and not worthy of their time. Now I have learned how to approach these men and women, and having the opportunity to speak to these veterans made me respect them even more than just knowing that they are a veteran. I have learned, in fact, that one should not be scared of age and should embrace it. Most of the veterans I encountered were very eager to share their stories and life lessons with me.